Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. On this channel, we cut through the hype and the noise, and we give you the non-biased information you can use to capitalize on the next bull run. And guys, this video is going to be a wealth of information. We're going to talk about tokenomics, and I'm going to help answer the question, is your favorite altcoin dumping on you? And guys, that is immensely, I can't tell you how important it is. It's immensely important that you understand what I'm going to talk about. And we're going to talk about 4 or 5 different things, and every piece of this will make you money in the long run. There's not a lot of guarantees in crypto, but I can promise you that if you understand what I'm about to share with you guys and how to find out and go analyze your favorite altcoin, it can't help but save you money. Because right now, guys, in these uncertain times, the market is going sideways to down. Some altcoins are pumping. However, have you noticed, and I've been saying this for the last year, don't FOMO into any of these pumps, because if your project has bad tokenomics, it's not going to maintain the pump. It can't. And guys, now we're getting into the worst part probably of this bear market. You could argue the fact at the end of last year and the FTX stuff, but right now the American economy is starting to slow down, and we're starting to see what's really coming down the pipe. Look across the globe. Nothing positive is happening. And if you look at crypto, the size of the market cap is dropping almost every single day. So I want you to think about it, guys. If we're not getting any new influx to speak of new money, your project, if it gets a circulating supply increase, it has to go lower. So I'm going to tell you what I look at before I buy a new altcoin, or even before I stack one of my older projects that I already own. And guys, I'm telling you, this will help make you a lot of money, and it will definitely save you money by making better decisions of when to get in and when to get out. Now, I'm going to show you about 4 or 5 different things that I look at, and I promise you, if you stay with me, you're going to be glad you did, and it's going to make you a better investor, and your entrance and exit points are probably going to be a lot better. All right, guys, before we get into it, go ahead and hit that like button. Now, we're going to start at looking at Immutable X. I absolutely love this project, and I have been waiting all year to start stacking my Immutable X bag. They get a lot of good news. So we're going to go through that. We're going to talk briefly about Avalanche, and I'm going to show you something with Ripple XRP that you might find interesting. And how I got this information is through Claude AI. So I'm going to show you the tools I use, and you can use them across the board for any project that you're looking to start stacking. So find out, guys, do your own research, find out if your favorite project is dumping on you, because if it is, doesn't mean it still can't pump, but it does mean it's probably going to keep bleeding, and you might want to hold off. Not financial advice, but hit that like button. Let's dive into it. Now, I'm not really going to go into the website, but guys, it might be something you want to put on your radar, is Immutable X. But check this out. Let's say I want to buy it right now, which I do. First thing I do is check the Bitcoin dominance. Now, that has nothing to do with finding out about the circulating supply, but I just want to touch on this briefly. But when I look at that IMX over Bitcoin, it's going down. That is the weekly chart right there. So why would I possibly want to jump in on that? That tells me that the smart money is going into Bitcoin and not going into Immutable X. Now, check this out. When you look at their chart, this is their daily, it's actually going up. But let's look. When I look at a chart, look at that. I love that because Immutable X is a phenomenal project. And look, realistically, you could say it's never experienced a bull run. It did launch at the very, very last part of 2021, so you could debate that. But look, if you look at this thing's been at like $9.50, and right now it's at what, 50 cents. Well, that seems like that might be a massive upside, and if you didn't look at what I'm about to show you, you'd be like, hey, why couldn't it take out its all-time high? It's growing every day. It's getting better partnerships. It should easily take out its all-time high. Well, I beg to differ. I'm not saying it won't, but just hear me out. Now, so when I look at the chart, the daily's going up, but look, the weekly going down. The monthly going down. The 90-day going down. Had some good news right there, and that shows you the thing, guys. Because of the tokenomics, no way it could maintain that pump. And then if you look at the year to date, guys, we're probably going to be able to pick up IMX for what we could have bought it last year when the market was at its all-time low for this bear run. Now, here's the thing, why I'm thinking about it. I stacked hard at the end of last year. If I would have understood better what I understand now, and I thought I understood it then, I would have sold these 2, 3, 4, 5x pumps that a lot of my tokens did, because I knew they were coming back. But the reason I didn't is because when I stack them, I said I'm going to dollar cost average out in the bull run. That's my plan, and I don't break my plan once I get started with it. Once I deploy my money, whatever that rule was, those rules are, I stick to them. That being said, before I would have stacked those bags, I would have put the rule in is, well, if we're still in a bear market and I get a 2 or 3x on these, and it has tokenomics that is going to keep increasing the supply, I would have took those profits. And then I'd be taking those profits, buying back at the lows again with more money. That's just knowledge that I didn't have a year ago that I have now that I want to share with you guys. So that's one bit of information. Now check this out, guys. Go to Masari, right? So I've already did Bitcoin dominance, and now I'm going to Masari. Now look at this, guys. This kind of freak you out. This is the all-time. When this thing launched, it only had like 180 million circulating supply. Of course, it can run to $9. Look what the circulating supply is right now. 1.2 billion. Guys, that is a massive amount. But that's okay. And stay with me, guys, because this is not FUD. And this is just information that you can use. I'm trying to get you to understand the big picture of what this information tells you. And you can transfer it to any altcoin because it's not negative, because I believe 100% and I'll own IMX. But it doesn't have good tokenomics right now because it's just been increasing the supply heavily. And I don't expect that to stop. So therefore, it's going to have like a 6x of new demand to take out its old high. And that is going to be hard to come by. Not saying it can't, but right now, I think it's just going to keep going lower. Now, why do I say that? Well, we can see with Masari that it has immensely increased the supply since it was launched. But let's go back 30 days. Look at that, guys. That's brutal. That's about 100 million tokens in a week. That's massive. Of course, it's going to keep bleeding. You got to have not just enough people to keep it even. That's a lot of sales pressure in a bear market. In a bull market, wouldn't even blink. But now, why do I think it's going to go lower? And guys, I am going to stack IMX. I just want it to go lower. And it looks like it is. Go to token unlocks. In 20 days, they're going to unlock roughly another $10 million worth of IMX. Well, that's $10 million worth of investors got to be standing there to keep it even in a bear market. In this climate, odds are it's going to keep bleeding. Now, it may rally between now and this next unlock because of some good news, and it just had a massive amount of good news. I believe it was the partnership with Google Cloud, I believe, but I'm just doing that by memory. But it's bleeding already, and we got another 10 million about to be dumped. All right. So that being said, let me show you something about Avalanche. Because, like I said, guys, this is not negative information. This is just information. Now, when you look at Avalanche's chart, check out this pump. Last bull run, guys, this thing pumped, and it pumped almost, it was one of the last ones to stop pumping. But I want you to look at this run up from the start of that year, right, from this low. Look at that run, guys. That's massive. I mean, that is from, now bear with me, this is important, from the price right there was what, $3.20, and it ran up to $145. Now let's go back to Masari. Look what was happening, guys. Check this out. This is kind of crazy. Look where the circulating supply was at the start of that run, right there. The start of the run was roughly 24 million tokens. At the end of that run, bear with me, so what we say, 24 million? At the end of that run, we were at about 245 million. They 10x the supply, and it still had that explosive move to the upside. But let's look at it again. Look what happens, guys. They started unlocking slowly, and then it got to the point where they just couldn't take the sales pressure. And look what happens. That is going to happen over and over with every project until they get more toward the fully diluted end of their cycle. So think about it, guys. Yes, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Quant, they're going to be your first type projects to ever moon. Let's just say, we'll use Bitcoin. Let's say it goes to 150 during this next bull run. Well, instead of pulling back like the years before, maybe back down to 25 or 30,000 because of its tokenomics, at some point you could see it, say, run to 150 and only pull back to, say, 120, 110. And that will be the new low. It'll start pulling back more like a stock. And the tokenomics will allow that. And I actually expect that to happen once we enter a cycle with a spot ETF. I don't want to get off track. But Quant, great tokenomics. Ethereum, deflationary. And it's going back and forth right now, but it will be fully deflationary once the bull market starts. So don't let bad tokenomics stop you from buying a project necessarily, but understand that project in a bear market will not maintain that pump. This is the probabilities. And in a bull market, the same thing. It can still pump, and it can pump hard, but it's not going to, no project's going to run, make all-time highs, and then maintain it. They're all coming back 100%, especially the ones with bad tokenomics. The ones with good tokenomics are still going to come back because of where we are in the cycle of crypto, but at some point that's going to change. Anyway, so that's the good news. Now, I found this pretty interesting for the people that own XRP, because I was looking at what it had done, and I highly recommend, if you own XRP, you really get familiar with Messari, because guys, I don't want to harp on this. I want to show you this part right here, and this shows you another tool. But you look at the supply, guys, when it was at like 34 billion circulating supply back when it hit its all-time high, right? 36 billion, 38 billion back when it hit its all-time high in 2017. Well, it's at 53 billion right now. So that is a substantial amount of supply increase. But I want you to look at this. I saw that and I was thinking, well, that's some funny business, and that's probably Ripple, I'm thinking, adding and buying back lower, because they do that. But that's not what I want to tell you. I asked Claude what that was, because that's a big move and you don't see it anywhere else except for back in 2014. And this is another tool, guys. If you don't understand something, type it into Claude AI. So I typed it into Claude AI. I was extremely detailed, and unfortunately, you have to do that because Claude is extremely fast and he gives you a lot of misinformation. And I normally do my research and then I verify it with Claude. But even when he tells me something, I challenge him over and over. So I was very detailed, but I said, hey, what is that? Was it a supply dump? Was it market makers? Was it an exchange? What happened? And he basically said that Jed McCabe's, his supply wasn't part of Messari's numbers. So on May, like the 1st, that dip is like from the 3rd to the 10th, they started adding his supply. So it didn't really move the tokenomics up, the circulating supply that much. But then they decided, no, we should take it back out. So they pulled out all of his personal supply. That's why it collapsed the circulating supply. So it's an insignificant thing, but what I'm trying to show you guys, why I find it extremely cool, first of all, I just found out that information, but it's through Claude AI. Guys, it's a wealth of information. So anyway, guys, hopefully y'all understand what I'm trying to get you to understand in this video. I know I seem like I'm rambling, but look, your token, that your favorite altcoin, the odds are you're getting dumped on. And if you understand that, and you understand Bitcoin dominance and the economic environment we're in, you probably feel comfortable letting things just go and maybe stacking some more stable coins, getting ready for hopefully capitulation. Now, I'm not here to tell anyone to start stacking or stop stacking, because guys, I really believe the odds are in the best projects right now. One of my favorite is H-bar. Anyone stacking H-bar under 5 cents is going to do well. So I can't tell anyone not to do it. But that's a perfect example. H-bar has some more unlocks between now and the halving. And any good news, which is every single day, it's not going to maintain that. I have 100% confidence that I'm not going to wake up and H-bar's at 7-8 cents. And if it does, it's going to come back. So why what's the hurry to stack more? I have a good bag of H-bar. That being said, I want you to think about something, guys, and this is why it's important. 5 cents H-bar to me is the closest thing to a guarantee in crypto you're going to get. It's going to take out its old high of like 52 cents. That's an easy 10x. That's a minimum, in my opinion. But if it's at 4 cents, that gives me what? A 12, 15x. If it gets down to 2.5 cents, guys, you double it. That gives me a 20, 25x. So if it's bleeding, I'm just going to let it bleed. And it really matters. I know a lot of people say, well, we can dollar cost average out. Well, I get that. Or dollar down. I do that, guys. And anyone doing it right now is going to do okay, or probably do well. But if you have a bag and you're trying to figure out, look at Bitcoin dominance and see if the supply increase is growing every day with your favorite altcoins. And if it is, you're probably not going to wake up and it running away from you. And every time you stack lower, it's a bigger upside, guys. And it matters at the end. That's the point of this entire video. All right, guys. So remember, Masari, token unlocks, Claude AI are really great sources. And then learn about Bitcoin dominance. That being said, guys, hopefully you got a lot out of this video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, be part of this community. And I'm just here to tell you guys, I can't be more bullish. I am 100% confident that we are going to have the ride of our life in the start of the next bull run. It's going to be explosive. However, in my opinion, there's no reason to FOMO in right now. The best token I think anyone can stack personally is what I'm currently doing, is stacking stable coins. Because if we're lucky, everything's going to keep bleeding away from Bitcoin. Hopefully Bitcoin will go test its lows, and if it does, these altcoins are going to bleed and bleed and bleed. Now think about it, guys. Just like HBAR, guys, it can go down another 90% from where it's at now, and another 90% from that. I'm not saying it's going to, but that's crypto, guys. And once you get to a penny, it keeps splitting. 0.01, 0.001, 0.001, right? It just keeps going. So, guys, they can keep going lower. And I don't think there's going to be a soft landing. And hopefully this is going to help you prepare to take the maximum amount of advantage. All right, guys, hopefully that answered the question. If your favorite altcoin is basically dumping on you, and that gives you a wealth of information. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Come back, be part of this community. Take care.